Hi, and welcome to I Tried to Advance an Affordability Mindset, and all I got was this rubric, Lessons in Starting Over. My name is Maria Teresa Torres, but I go by Tessy, and my pronouns are she, her. I am currently the OER librarian at the University of Texas at El Paso. I love planning big parties, as you'll see in a little bit. I just got off planning my wedding, and my new husband is begging me not to plan another party, but we'll see. A timeline of my work with OER through UTEP. These are the highlights. In January of 2021, I was hired as the OER librarian at UTEP, and a confession, I had no idea what OER was, what it meant for students, what it meant for faculty or student success. I just knew that I wanted to work at UTEP, and this was my way in. I didn't realize at the time just how much I would grow to absolutely love it and become so passionate about it. In August of 2021, so about 8 months later, I felt comfortable enough with OER to start launching my own affordability initiative. A year and a half into that affordability initiative, I host an OER mixer that is very well attended but does not increase OER adoption. And so I had to really look at how does an event be so successful but not equal long-term success for an initiative. And then about 6 months after that, I attended Doers 3 convening in St. Paul, Minnesota, that completely changed my way of thinking and how I approach affordability here at UTEP. We'll talk about the last two in the timeline. The first is the OER mixer. My director was so supportive when I came to him with an idea for an OER faculty mixer, and that generosity and support went into a budget. We had a full open bar with some pretty substantial hors d'oeuvres that were catered. We had to cap the attendance at 40 because of the cost. Those spots filled up fast. I had emails from faculty begging me to open up a waiting list. They were just so excited to come to the mixer on the 6th floor of the library. In addition to the 40 attendees, we had our honored guests, so President Heather Wilson, our provost, Dr. John Wiebe, and some OER faculty champions that I had identified to come talk to colleagues about the benefits of OER. And as you can see by the pictures here, everyone was talking and mingling, and the energy in the room was so great. I was so proud to be able to bring this type of event to UTEP faculty. Like I said, though, it really wasn't a success because 3 follow-up emails later, no faculty had converted their classes to zero cost as I tracked through our scheduling software. No one responded to me. And when I followed up in person with another faculty member who was an attendee at this mixer, she asked what exactly an Oreo librarian does. And I love the cookie. That's not my job here. So it was a little disheartening to throw what seemed like such a successful event and it really not be. 6 months later, I attend the Doers 3 convening, Driving OER Sustainability for Student Success in St. Paul. We had so many different members and types of roles that they filled in the room. I met such incredibly inspiring people and had such eye-opening conversations. But as you can see, I had a small panic attack while I was having these conversations, imposter syndrome being the biggest reason, because they were doing so much with what they had. and they were advancing affordability at what seemed such an astonishing rate at their institutions. So I really had to stop and think, what am I not doing? What am I doing? And what can I be doing differently? When I got back home to El Paso, I had to put pen to paper and identify my biggest obstacles, and these were the 6 that I came up with. The bottom 2 are the ones that I realized I really had to tackle, was that misinformation and miseducation was rampant, and I assumed it wasn't. So I had to tackle that misinformation and miseducation, and on top of that, I had to tackle the nuances that come with adopting an affordability mindset. So what other gaps can OER fit, and how can I promote that instead of just focusing on cost? It made me think about course materials holistically. This led me to create the Affordability Rubric. You can view it with me by scanning the QR code or using the short URL on the screen. I have different rows here, and each row comes with the score of 1 to 5, 5 being the best, 1 being the worst, and we're breaking up the different problems that OER can solve when looking at course materials. Cost being the first. Course objectives. How many course materials does it take to meet all of the objectives a faculty member has laid out? Localization and representation. Can the students see themselves in the course materials, in the content? Do they feel connected to it? How engaging is the material? Is it just a block of text? Are there videos? Accessibility, and by this I'm focusing heavily on ADA. And then currency. This one is going to be the most nuanced, but how appropriately historical or up-to-date are the materials? All of these issues OER can solve. If I need something that needs to be current frequently, I need something that can be updated frequently. That leads us to OER. If I have too many course materials to meet all of my course objectives, I need to find something that I can modify into one text so it looks like one cohesive source. Do I want the students to see themselves? Do I want to fix scenarios or the content to better represent the area that I'm in? That is definitely solvable by OER. The column here is an Excel formula, so it tallies up the total automatically, and then the faculty member can see the score, and it informs the type of conversation they need to have with their OER practitioner. QR code and the short URL back on the screen. If you want to capture that again, take a look at it on your own. Finally, if you have any questions, comments, concerns about the rubric, about an affordability mindset, just about OER in general, I'd love to have those conversations with you. I've included my email address on the screen. The QR code leads you to my appointment link, where we can set up a 30-minute time block to have coffee over Teams or Zoom and have those conversations. So please feel free to reach out. I'd love to hear from you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.